breaking barriers for people with disabilities.
We are just exactly as everybody else. We have the same ability as everybody else. It's an untapped talent.
$41 billion.
The new film, Talent Untapped, documents one woman's journey to understand why so many Canadians with disabilities are either unemployed or underutilized in the workforce. Today is the International Day of Persons with Disabilities. Joining us now is the film's director, Anna-Karina Tabunar. It's good to have you here.
Thanks, Marcy.
And this journey started with you and waking up with a headache one morning. Tell us what happened.
This was about 6 years ago. I was a working mom, much like you, juggling career, juggling family, juggling work, and I woke up with a big headache. I was otherwise healthy. That headache dragged on all day. Nothing would touch it. I was popping lots of Advil. But that was also coupled with some symptoms. I couldn't feel my arms, my hands, my feet, my legs. And then I still went into work. I took the bus, and then I remembered taking a step and almost falling out of the bus, realizing I can't see the ground. And I went to my doctor, and immediately I was taken off work. I had a rare neurological illness, something called Miller-Fisher variant of Guillain-Barré syndrome. What happened, just very briefly, my immune system was attacking my peripheral nervous system and my optic nerves. I couldn't work.
You couldn't work. And during that recovery period, you started to think differently about people with disabilities because all of a sudden you were one.
I was one of the stats, and people around me who were helping me with my recovery were people with disabilities. It became painfully clear to me that the number one issue that's facing people with disabilities, one of the number one issues, is employment or lack of employment. And I was seeing all around me all these wonderful people full of talent, full of drive, and full of wanting to work. But they were underemployed, unemployed, not by choice. So I had to tell the story.
You told the story and really focused on employers and part of it. And it's interesting because you weren't, I guess, at one point equating disability with business value. And that's what many employers, you found, were doing just that.
Yes. In fact, okay, right now, today, it's a small minority of organizations that are actually tapping into the talent pool of disability, and they're seeing business value. One of them is Sodexo Canada. I had the privilege of going into one of their business units. So what Sodexo does is they provide cafeteria services for bigger organizations. They feed people. I went in and I met Michael. Michael is 20s, and he takes a lot of pride in his work, in washing pots and pans. He's deaf. And he said to me that if it weren't for this job with Sodexo, he would be at home in his basement playing video games. So this job has not only provided him with a steady paycheck at competitive wages, it's opened up his life. He has a social circle. He has a routine.
And there's so many stories like that. And this is why, and it's untapped talent, really.
Yes.
And you say that you want this film to be a wake-up call.
It's a wake-up call, and it's a tool, because I want other employers and other organizations from the private sector, from government, all levels of government, to realize there is this huge talent pool that's sitting and waiting. 1 in 7 of us lives with a disability, visible or invisible.
You crowdfunded in order to get this done.
Yes.
And I would think shocked by the fact that people came on board so quickly. I was just reading what you told one of our producers.
I've never crowdfunded. I don't know social media, Marcy. I'm a Luddite. So I did this thing on Kickstarter, and within 3.5 weeks, people, complete strangers, and even organizations donated money to help put this into post-production. And organizations like Export Development Canada, a crown corporation that's never participated in a crowdfunding campaign, but the head of HR there said, this makes a lot of sense. This is in line with the inclusion that we want to become, that we want to embrace as an organization.
Anna-Karina, this is fantastic. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Really a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
The film premieres tomorrow in Ottawa. We will have a link to Talent Untapped, and the website is, of course, canadaam.ctvnews.ca if you want more information.